I thought it was kind of interesting how the technology kind of dates whichever scene you're in. Like when we're in the present day Men in Black headquarters, we kind of get a look at the near future.
Yeah.
And then, you know, like when we go back to the 60s, you know, there's typewriters on the desk.
Yeah.
Could you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, it's kind of interesting too because luckily Bo is such a genius production designer that he just, you know, helps us a lot. We'd had conversations early on about, do we change the look of all the stuff in the 60s? Like maybe the film is a little different, maybe the colors are a little different. But Barry didn't want to like hit you over the head with it. He just wanted to make the world look a little different because it did look a little different. But you know, for us, like what we had to do is dealing with taking modern things out of the world. So that time jump that we did, right? You see there are a couple, after he crosses the laser line, we have a couple different versions of New York going on. So we have a 1930s version. So we had to get rid of all the glass and steel buildings. Then there's the 69 version, but get rid of some of the glass and steel buildings and keep those. And then when you're back to 2012, it's back to modern day. So that's for New York. The streets in the motorcycle sequence, we had to get rid of a lot of neon signs, a lot of awning, fluorescent lights, changing some stoplights here and there, getting rid of Dunkin' Donuts signs, which is ironic because they're huge in the movie, I guess, now, so big tie-ins. But we thought there was going to be a lot more work to do to kind of make the film period, but great locations and good design. Headquarters was interesting. Bo built a great set, you know. The things we were doing was dealing with things like the ceiling and making sure the fire was the right color and putting images in the monitors and that kind of stuff. So the headquarters, that and aliens.
And the gadgets that didn't make it to the Men in Black of present day, like the single-wheel cycle.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, huge. That sequence was really big for us, you know, building those motorcycles. And there's digital versions of Will and Boris and Griffin and the motorcycles, and fully digital streets that we were building, like I said. And, you know, we actually did a lot of period cars in that sequence, too. We had digital cars all over the place, so you wouldn't know, weren't there. Because when you're moving a camera down the street, and you can't get where you want to go, well, you pull the real cars out so you can drive the camera down, and then you say, well, later we'll put some
When you
cars.
want to do that later thing, I mean, does there have to be a section that's green or blue, or you can just put it into any scene?
No, sometimes, you know, I have a small team, both of us, we have a small team with us who, you know, while we're filming, I'll say to John, who has survey gear, like, you see the guys sitting out on the streets when they're looking through cameras, like, oh, okay, they're surveying, right? Looking through viewfinders, and there's a little laser that sends back how far that point is. Well, I'll say to John, I'll say, look, I think we're going to have to put cars out here later. In fact, I'm pretty sure, so can you come back tomorrow, survey this whole block? And he'll come back and he'll do some measurements with his survey gear and do a quick plot of what that street looks like. Now, we also know what the lenses are. So I'm trying not to get too technical, but so we know what the lenses are. We know it's a 30 millimeter or 21 millimeter. We know where John was sitting. If he's here, he's taking measurements of the street. So now, back digitally later, we can say, okay, from here, John measured 250 points. We can recreate a very basic version, three-dimensionally, of that street.